Hey, I just want to say, first of all, to everybody, welcome to all of our distinguished guests, and all of you. Quite honestly, I think you're all distinguished. There's so many people who've played an important and vital role in getting us here today, so many of you in this audience. So just hopefully you'll take the general open for what it's worth. I would tell you that this morning, my heart is full of pride and gratitude. I can't express that enough. As I just said, so many of you have played a key role, but for those of you who know me and probably know me a little too well at times, I put a real premium on leadership, and I have great respect for it when I see it in action. And so in that regard, words are going to fail me in trying to talk about my relationship with Lori Kaikina and what she's meant to this project. I first met Lori nearly 5 years ago, and that was after an 8-month campaign of endless Zoom calls. And every one of those Zoom calls, I promise you, I don't know how many there were, but there were many. You know, the subject of rail was a topic of discussion. And every emotion that you could possibly imagine, and unfortunately more to the negative, was being offered. And so there I was. I met Lori for the first time. I'd never met her before. She's sitting on one side of the table. Mike Comby was with me. I'm on the other. Both of us going into jobs that neither one of us had ever done before, but certainly cognizant of the significance of this challenge and what it would mean to the people of this island, and quite honestly for the state of Hawaii, if we could turn things around from where we were. We had already been cautioned by both the outgoing and incoming FTA administrators that this project was the worst in the country. No small challenge, no small statement to take on. What Lori has done over the course of the last 5 years is truly remarkable. And her leadership, her energy, her spirit, I mean, she's just put everything into it. So Lori, this is your day, your hour. I give you great credit for everything that's happened over the last 5 years. And I would be remiss if I also didn't acknowledge, because he's with us today, her retired former deputy, Rick Keene. Where's Rick? He's in the audience, right here, Rick. For every step of the way, all the financial planning and everything that we had to do to put together for that recovery plan, to be able to go to Washington and convince them that we could do it and do it right and do it well and do it on time. So I really can't thank you enough, the two of you. Senator Schatz is not here this morning. He's represented by the Chief of Policy, Dale Hahn, but I do want to mention Senator Schatz because his guidance and his capabilities and everything else he provided us was invaluable in this process. And so please convey our most sincere wishes to the Senator and mahalo for all that he did. And to our two mayors that are here this morning, Mayor Hanneman and Mayor Caldwell. I've told you both personally and privately, I'm really grateful that you're here today. You share in this moment for all that you did and all the challenges that you took on, because we all know this was not easy. This was about vision. This is about doing something that had never been done before against the odds. And you guys played a vital role in getting us to where we are today. Thank you both for being here today and for your leadership. To Roger Morton, John Maucci, Roger Morton, Director of Transportation Services. Right from the get-go. This guy is a transportation guy inside and out. Your wisdom and everything you could share with us and the sanity you brought to some insane moments, I can't thank you enough, Roger. And I have great confidence. You know, we've been operating the rail now since June 30th of 2023. And I want to acknowledge the people from Hitachi as well, because they've had such a big role in all of that. We're operating on a 99.84% on-time accuracy. I mean, this is an incredible system. And there's a lot to be said for that. And I'm very confident in what we've gotten done thus far in our ability to operate. But this next segment today, and much has been said over the last couple of days about it being a game changer, that's because it is. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but I want to recognize some people. Council Chair Tommy Waters, one of the first people we dragged into the office when we began this whole operation, said, Tommy, we're going to need you. We're going to need your leadership with the council. We're going to need the council to collaborate with us. We don't have any time for drama. We don't have any time or energy for anything that's going to get in our way, because the stakes are high. And Tommy, you and the council, all of you have delivered. We've gotten through this with an unprecedented amount of collaboration and cooperation. And for that, to you, Tommy, and to the council, I am very, very grateful. Mahalo for all of your caring and all of your efforts over all these years. I want to recognize she's not here today, former chair, who just stepped down, Colleen Hanabusa, for her leadership of the Heart Board, and the Heart Board for that matter. I'm not so sure I can even put into words how much Colleen brought to this project, how much she knew, how tough she was, her guidance, her understanding of the challenges we were facing, and how she helped us navigate through that with the heart board. Invaluable. And so we certainly want to wish Colleen the very best, but she played. I can tell you that I just said earlier, I never did the job before. This was a quick study. Once you became operational to get into it, Colleen's personal guidance to me was probably some of the best coaching I've ever had on anything. I owe her a great debt of gratitude, as we all do. To our friends at the FTA, Ray Tellis, I think they're going to be watching on TV. They were going to be here this morning with us, but I think we all know what's happening in Washington that precluded their ability to come. But you know, for something that was as challenging as it was, I felt from Ray and from the other people at the FTA, once we got our plan put together, nothing but complete support. And we had to overcome some disbelief that they had. I'll be honest with you, Lori, that was been part of the joy of the whole thing, was watching them react to the success that we were finally creating, with the determination that we had to succeed. And so it's been really a very, very great relationship. And so I'm going to just give that to Ray. To Dennis Dwyer, he's here. Where's Dennis? He's I hate to say Washington lobbyist. I'm sure you've got a better title than that. But Dennis, this guy here has been a beacon for us in DC, in helping us understand and navigate all that we had to navigate through in not only the positioning and selling, if you will, of our recovery plan, but about the obstacles we would face in all, quite honestly, again, incredible coaching, Dennis. And I know you've done that for other mayors. A couple of them are sitting here today. I just owe you a great debt of gratitude, because we wouldn't be here today without that kind of advice. And I thank you very much for that. Somebody I'm going to embarrass right now at the moment, because I can, as I told him this morning, because I am the script in this program, and that is Mike Formby, the Managing Director of the City and County of Honolulu. Because Mike has been, I've used the word 2 or 3 times, I'm not trying to overuse it, but this is what I said in a heart full of gratitude today. Mike's knowledge, his expertise has been incredible. It's been invaluable in so many difficult decision-making moments, because that's what this was. In order to solve this problem, understand this problem, develop the solutions that we were looking for, and execute, I relied tremendously on Mike. He was there, not every meeting of the day, he was there every day and night, no matter what the time was, weekends or whatever, anytime we were on this project. Tremendous help, Michael. I can't thank you enough. I don't mind if I embarrass you a little bit, because you deserve it. I also want to thank our entire team. A lot of them are here today. This is a team that really works together. We have a lot of different priorities right now with the city. I think everybody knows that. But they're all pulled together, and they've all been very, very supportive of anything and everything we could do. And I know that, Lori, there have been times when you needed multiple departments to come to your aid, and they were there. And I'm proud of you guys for working like that. I'm proud of everything we've been able to achieve together, and really for this moment. So let me just say this, and if I've left somebody out, I hope I haven't, because I really wouldn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, because this is a joyous moment. But this begins an unprecedented service for the people of Oʻahu. You know, we were disadvantaged at having to open the first leg to Aloha Stadium for all kinds of reasons, not the least of which was not exactly a desirable place to go, and for that matter, the multimodal service out of there was a bit of a handicap. You really couldn't sell the convenience and the efficiency. True, we were getting from East Kapolei to Aloha Stadium in 23 minutes, but that really wasn't what we needed. What we needed was this next segment. And so for the very fact that we were disadvantaged, we were determined to do a couple of things over the last couple of years, since June 30th, 2023, when we opened that first phase. We were determined to focus on ongoing construction, to get here as fast as we could, and the operation of the rail in our stations and all the personnel that had come together to create this entity, knowing full well when this day came, we would be ready. We would be more than ready, and that's what we did. We did not focus on ridership, but we will now begin to focus on ridership, because it's an important criteria. You build a transit system like this for people to use. It's not like we didn't regard the people riding it, but we knew we didn't really have the right offering. Transit systems are built and designed to take people where they want to go, where they need to go, and all the other benefits that relate to that. And that is the education right now in the convincing, because quite honestly, we've had nearly a couple of decades of cynicism to overcome. So everything that's about to happen, but the operation of this second segment will be unprecedented, and we are up to that task. And I promise you, we are committed. I put a stake in the ground, and I said a minimum of 25,000 riders a day over the course of the next year, and that's no small challenge. But I'm confident we can get there, and we will get there. So we begin. Expanded hours, 4 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. 4 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's been nothing like that on this island ever, ever. That's why this is historic. And not only that, what comes with it, beyond the efficiency of time and money, what comes with it, the safety issues, but the predictability that you now can go from East Kapolei to Aloha Stadium in 23 minutes, to 27 minutes, 4 additional minutes to Pearl Harbor, and another 5 minutes to the airport. 32 minutes from Kapolei to the airport, with certainty. And if you miss that train, there'll be another one coming in 10 minutes. What that does to all the frustration, the anguish, and the exhaustion of that daily commute, and the stress of that, not the least of which is the wear and tear and the cost and everything else, is an incredible benefit to the quality of lives of the people who live here. We're really proud of that. And we're going to make sure that everybody understands that. I have a lot of confidence because once people go on Skyline, they're going to realize all of that. We've got Wi-Fi, air conditioning. And for those of you who haven't been on it yet, incredible view plane. It's all good. It's just, is everything about this project, despite the years of it getting beat up, is nothing but good. Pure good. Okay? And the thing that nobody talked about, what I think, is somebody who used to commute from New York, well, from Connecticut to New York City, when I worked at CBS in New York. What we never talk about, because we built it from west to east, and we always talked about the ride into town. The truth of the matter is, where the real value proposition is going to show up for so many people. That's one thing in the morning to be able to do it efficiently, or for that matter, the energy you have, maybe knowing full well you have at least an hour commute in town. But now, knowing that you can get there is going to be really a predictable thing, and the time it will cut off. But the big thing is the ride home that we never talked about. The end of a workday, when you're tired, and when you're not sure what the highway is going to offer you, and how quickly you can get home for dinner, for your kids' practice, to meet your wife or your husband or whomever for some engagement that night, you got to go home and check. You can now do that. And that kind of certainty is an incredible value proposition. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, from 4 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. with trains coming every 10 minutes, is an incredible contribution to transportation and to people on this island. And I think it takes away, for so many of the people on the west side, the anguish that they've had to put up with, resigning themselves, that once you decide to live on the west side, if you work in town, you have a brutal commute day in and day out. I feel that that is such a great contribution. You know, I don't know if it gets said enough about government and the service to the public, but if this is not the quintessential example of service to the public, and I go back to the vision that Union had and what we did and what brought this to reality, I don't know what does. So on that note, I just want to thank you all for being here. I'm extremely proud, grateful to everybody. This was no small achievement. It deserves celebration, and the future ahead looks better than it ever has. God bless you all. Thank you.